Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. We would like to remind you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Justice Stella Anukam on her re-election as judge of the African Court on Human and People's Rights for another term of 6 years. Justice Anukam was re-elected at the African Union Mid-Year Coordination Meeting Executive Council in Accra, Ghana. The president, in a statement by his spokesman, Ajurin Galale, commended Justice Anukam for her contributions to the development of human rights jurisprudence on the continent. The Nigerian leader urged Justice Anukam to continue to bring her invaluable knowledge and insight to the African court. Edo Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu has dumped the People's Democratic Party, PDP, for the All Progressives Congress, APC. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Wednesday reinstated Shaibu as the Deputy Governor of Edo State. However, the Deputy Governor, who returned to the APC in Benin, the state capital, today with prominent members of the Dan Obi-led agency group of the PDP, says he is back to add value to the party. Nasarawa state government has appealed to the citizens to shun ill-conceived nationwide protest against the government of President Bola Tinubu. This is contained in a statement in Lafia by the State Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Ibrahim Angbolo. Angbolo noted that the Nasarawa state government believed in democratic government, especially efforts being made by President Bola Tinubu to provide good governance to grow the nation's economy. The Niger Delta Indigenous Contractors Association has called on President Bola Tinubu to exclude the Niger Delta Development Commission from the Treasury single account to enhance the speedy execution of projects in the region. This is as the contractors threaten to take legal action against the international oil companies operating in the Niger Delta for allegedly refusing to remit the 3% contribution to the NDDC. They said this trend has continued for over 5 years, thereby slowing down the implementation of projects for the good of the Niger Delta people. The Nigeria Police Force says in the last 6 weeks, the Nigeria Police Force has arrested 307 armed robbery suspects, 296 kidnapping suspects, 301 homicide suspects, 176 rape defilement suspects, and 204 suspected cultists. The Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, stated this while parading 35 suspects arrested by the Force Intelligence Department and Intelligence Response Team in Abuja. Kikelamo Okere has details.
The Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Muyiwa Adejobi, says they recovered 284 firearms, 6,702 ammunition of various calibers, 107 vehicles, and rescued 97 victims. Adejobi highlighted the progress made in the force effort to combat crime in Nigeria. We attributed the successes to the implementation of policies and anti-crime strategies by the Inspector General of Police, which have been paying off.
In the last 6 weeks, the Nigerian Police Force has arrested 307 armed robbery suspects, 296 kidnapping suspects, 301 homicide suspects, 176 rape through defilement suspects, 204 suspected cultists, and we've been able to recover 284 firearms, 6,702 ammunition of various calibers, and 107 vehicles, and we were able to rescue 97 victims of kidnapping.
Adejobi revealed an 11-man gang syndicate who were arrested in connection with stealing and receiving stolen items. Attesting to the crime, Mustafa Usman, the son of a retired uniform officer says their group specializes in visiting construction sites and stealing metals and rods used in the construction. They are also involved in receiving and selling stolen electrical products and household appliances.
No, I raised it inside my room. I'm not just wearing it. I'm not wearing it.
But you call yourself soldier.
Well, that's why they call you soldier. Why did you choose the name soldier and you are not a soldier? No, the time they arrested me, they have already used to call me with this name, soldier. No, it's only me that they arrested. Yes, for sub-target. They can trace the uniform with me.
The Nigerian Police Force under the present leadership has been committed to executing its statutory mandate as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of.
The parade of suspects serves as a testament to the force's dedication to ensuring public safety and security in Nigeria. Items recovered include 284 firearms, 6,702 ammunition of various calibers, 107 vehicles, 1 AK-47 with magazines, sledgehammer, carjack, among others. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pati, says the federal government will effectively deploy vaccines coming from Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, despite the spread of cholera outbreaks slowing down in the country. The minister made this known while responding to a post made by the Chief Executive Officer of the vaccine firm, Dr. Sanya Nishta, on X, formerly known as Twitter. In the post, Nishta disclosed that the fresh cholera vaccines will soon arrive in Nigeria to help curb the deadly and ongoing outbreak. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, says the nationwide onslaught of the federal government against illegal mining has gathered momentum with the arrest of several suspects allegedly involved in the illegal mining of gold in Yagba East local government area in Kogi State. He says the operation carried out by the mining marshals in Iye Odogbe, a Sanlu community of the local government area, involved dislodging illegal miners whose activities have prevented lawfully authorized miners with licenses covering 4 cadastral units from accessing the site for 16 years. Kike Lomo Okeri has details.
The Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Dele Alake, says
Nigerian doctor and visual artist Dr. Fola David has surpassed the existing record for the world's largest painting by an individual. On Friday, the 4th day of his attempt, David broke the previous record of 629.98 square meters held by Ravi Soni from India, and has said that he is determined to attain his ultimate goal of 1,000 square meters of art. In the course of his attempt, celebrities and dignitaries have visited David at the stadium to offer their support and witness his artistic feat firsthand. Among them are the renowned Nigerian chef and Guinness World Record holder Hilda Basi, who reportedly brought not only her well wishes but also food and supplies to fill David's artistic marathon. You're watching News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV, channel 365, and Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, federal government to spend 3 trillion naira on new minimum wage, pensions, and gratuities. We'll bring you this and other stories right after this break. Do stay with us.
most factual and well-investigated stories. Look no further than Global Television. Dive deep into issues with our in-depth analysis and stay informed with our educational and interesting programs. Join us on Global Television, where quality content meets excellence. Follow us on all our social media platforms to stay connected and never miss an update. Global Television, Nigeria, our pride.
With every government and introduction of new policies, businesses of all kinds and sizes seize the opportunity to evolve and redefine themselves. Business Point on Global Television is where we follow the money and put the facts and figures right in front of you. Watch Business Point every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. as Kikelamo Okeri tracks all the latest developments across critical sectors. Business Point, this is business.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more. All on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet event to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chung Animal Joseph on Global Television.
In an ever-busy world, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first.
And well-investigated stories. Look no further than Global Television. Dive deep into issues with our in-depth analysis and stay informed with our educational and interesting programs. Join us on Global Television, where quality content meets excellence. Follow us on all our social media platforms to stay connected and never miss an update. Global Television, Nigeria, our pride.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now, if you've just joined us, this is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of the news cycle. On the foreign scene, soldiers were patrolling Bangladeshi cities to quell growing civil unrest, sparked by student demonstrations with riot police firing on protesters who defied a government curfew. This week's violence has killed at least 115 people so far. Victims reported by police and hospitals poses a monumental challenges to Prime Minister Sheikh Hassani's autocratic government after 15 years in office. A government curfew went into effect at midnight at the Premier's office, asked the military to deploy troops after police again failed to subdue widespread mayhem. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, and his South African counterpart, Ronald Lamola, have called for an immediate ceasefire in the ongoing conflict in Sudan. They lamented that the conflict had led to the death of innocent citizens, worsened the humanitarian crisis, displaced millions of people, and the destruction of critical infrastructure. According to a statement by Tugar's Special Assistant on Media and Communication Strategy, Al-Qasim Abdul-Qadir. The two ministers spoke at a meeting on the sidelines of the African Union Executive Council in Accra. They called for the commencement of a process to expedite access to humanitarian assistance in the country. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, a Democrat and outspoken advocate for racial justice and minorities' rights, has died. She was 74. Lee, a black representative from Texas who served in Congress for nearly 3 decades, revealed last month that she had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. The UN International Court of Justice declared that Israel's continued presence in the occupied Palestinian territory is unlawful and that all states are under an obligation not to recognize the decades-long occupation. The court was responding to a request for an advisory opinion by the General Assembly on the legal consequences arising from the policies and practices of Israel in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem. Unlike judgments in contentious cases between states, the advisory opinions are non-binding and are sought by United Nations bodies such as the General Assembly or the Security Council. In business, the federal government is set to spend 3 trillion naira on the new minimum wage and the payment of pensions and gratuities. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, disclosed this during a meeting with the Senate Committee on Appropriations chaired by Olamileko Adeola. The minister presented the general principles of the newly amended 2024 budget to the committee at the meeting. The Central Bank of Nigeria has directed all banks and other financial institutions to transfer all dormant accounts, unclaimed balances, and other financial assets to its dedicated account. The Apex Bank made this known in a circular released and signed by its acting director of the Financial Policy and Banking Regulation Department, John Onoja. According to the CBN, all dormant accounts and unclaimed balances with banks for at least 10 years will be warehoused in a dedicated account known as the Unclaimed Balances Trust Fund Pool account. The Joint Committee of the House of Representatives investigating arbitrary rise of cement price in the country has asked major producers in the industry to tender documents on cost production to justify the price of cement in the market. The committee resolved to visit production plants of the companies after going through their books to ascertain the cost of production with a view to determine a fair price of cement for all Nigerians. The chairman of the Joint Committee, Jonathan Gaza, made the demand at a public hearing while quizzing Dangote Cement Company and Lafarge Africa PLC in Abuja. He says the committee is interested in the cost of production from 2020 to date that justified the current price of cement, which is over 10,000 naira in most parts of the country. Nigeria's Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission imposed a $220 million fine on Meta platforms for violating data privacy laws. The FCCPC says in a statement signed by its acting executive chairman, Adamu Abdullahi, that Meta's data sharing practices on its Facebook and WhatsApp platforms breached local consumer and data protection regulations, adding that Meta had denied Nigerian users control over their shared data without consent and abused its market dominance. Airlines were gradually coming back online after global carriers, banks and financial institutions were thrown into turmoil by one of the biggest IT crashes in recent years, caused by an update of an antivirus program. Passenger crowds had swelled at airports on Friday to wait for news as dozens of flights were cancelled and operators struggled to keep services on track after an update to a program operating on Microsoft Windows crashed systems worldwide. Multiple U.S. airlines and airports across Asia said they were now resuming operations, with check-in services restored in Hong Kong, South Korea and Thailand, and mostly back to normal in India, Indonesia and at Singapore's Changi Airport as of Saturday afternoon. A bridge collapse caused by torrential rains in northern China killed 12 people and left more than 30 missing. Large parts of northern and central China have been battered in recent days by rains that have caused flooding and significant damage. The bridge in the northwestern Shaanxi province buckled due to a sudden downpour and flash floods. All 12 victims of the city of Shanglu were found inside 5 vehicles that were recovered from the river below the bridge. In sports, Victor Osimhen is set for a €4 million wage increase at Paris Saint-Germain, having reportedly agreed personal terms with the French champions. The Nigeria striker has shaken hands with the French giants on a 5-year deal worth €14 million per season, which represents a significant pay rise from his current €10 million annual salary at Napoli. The 25-year-old's agent, Roberto Calenda, was in Paris earlier this week to negotiate with the PSG. Nigeria's the Tigress put up a good fight, but were ultimately beaten by Germany in a warm-up game ahead of the Paris 2024 Olympics. The African champions, ranked 12th globally by FIBA, lost to the 19th-ranked Germany in the preparation game played at the Uber Arena in Berlin as the game finished 77-63 in favor of the Germans. The Tigress, who have won a record 4 consecutive women's Afro-basket titles, are in a tough group for the Olympics. They're up against Canada, Australia and France in Group B of the women's basketball event. That's it on the Global News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.